The Song of Prayer. Dang, at the very back. Behind the manual for teachers.
Yeah. Did you go all the way through manual for teachers?
No.
Oh.
No, we've been popping around.
Oh, okay.
Popcorning. Yeah, we've read the whole Course in Miracles.
Yeah, I'm
Finally,
late to the game.
finally the Song of Prayer. And wow, we got it. Dang.
Living it, living the dream, living the not dream, the dream.
We're just
A good
choosing.
dream.
We're just choosing to stay in a body for your sake. You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. I feel the love in that. Okay, where are we?
Well, let's see. Where are we?
I think we were on the top of page 4, but again, there's no rules. We could jump to wherever.
The sinless have no needs. The sinless have no needs. Chapter 2 in the Song of Prayer, the Ladder of Prayer. And
yes, that's where we're at.
We made it to paragraph 4.
Yes.
That sound right, Sue?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to jump in?
Sure.
Okay. Who wants to read? I can read if no one wants to read.
Oh, I thought you meant jump. I can read.
Sue can read.
Yeah. Right. So at this level also comes a curious contradiction in terms known as praying for one's enemies. This contradiction lies not in the actual words, but rather in the way in which they are usually interpreted. While you believe you have enemies, you have limited prayer to the laws of this world, and have also limited your ability to receive and to accept to the same narrow margins. And yet, if you have enemies, you have need of prayer, and great need too. What does the phrase really mean? Pray for yourself, that you may not seek to imprison Christ and thereby lose the recognition of your own identity. Be traitor to no one, or you will be treacherous to yourself.
Oh, that's crazy, huh? So the first part of this is that we're always praying without ceasing, as it's an energetic state. It's a state of being, and that prayer. Well, that was my interpretation anyway. That prayer really is your petition, meaning your state of being, and it's going to give you a world. You're going to either see the world of sin, guilt, and shame and separation from, or you're going to see the world of love and brothers and sameness and a happier world for sure. And the sinless have no needs because there is no needs when you choose the Holy Spirit's world. There are needs when you choose the world of scarcity. And so one of the things that also goes is an enemy. The enemies disappear, which is interesting. And when we're a traitor, the traitor part is interesting to me because we're a traitor to ourselves. What do you think? You want to explain that one, or how that can be? Anybody? Denise, what do you think that means?
Well, because we are all one, and whatever we do to another, we do to ourselves. So if we harm another, when we think about enemies, with the ego's experience of an enemy is anybody that thinks that is different than me, or thinks different than me, or has a different agenda than I have. And yet, so, I mean, right now, our country would consider some of our country would consider Iran to be an enemy, but at the smallest level, it's those who don't believe like me, or those that are opposed to what I believe. Those become my enemies. Or it can even be like the last time I was on the call, it can be the church
Mm,
is the enemy, those that we judge that are against us. But what we're doing is we're just judging ourselves. We're neglecting to see that that too is me, an expression
mhm,
of me, and then the the sinless have no needs is because the sinless have no guilt, because the sinless do not believe in separation from
mhm.
God, or from God, or from one another. So if you don't have any guilt, then you're sinless, and if you're sinless, you have no problems, right?
Oh,
Ultimately, not like practically the way we all bump into stuff. It's not like that. It's the way we perceive those things.
mm. I was telling Sue this last time that I was sitting in the sauna at the gym, and I was really close to this other guy because the sauna was packed, super packed, and everyone got up except for me and this other guy, and then I didn't move because I just kind of sat there with my eyes closed. I was like, well, whatever, we're close, whatever. I don't want to move around because I like to just try to meditate or not move. Anyway, he started trying to get my attention by saying, "Hey, bro, hey, bro, hey, bro, hey, bro," and he wanted me to move, and I got so angry at him, and it was like, like, well, why don't you move, or like, how disrespectful, or it was like violent anger. I wanted to punch him in the face, and
Okay.
but since I'm so spiritual, I just moved. I seethed over to the other corner without saying anything. And it's funny though, because he was my enemy. Why was he
Mm-hmm.
my enemy? I don't know. I had these filters going that I should be respected, and it's okay to sit next to a sweaty guy in his underwear. You shouldn't have a problem with that. Uh, whatever craziness. And all the while, if there's so many situations where he could be my best friend, and I could he could be one of my students who was a young guy or something, but yet I chose to frame it so that I had an enemy. So it was so clear that he was my enemy that I was ready to engage in physical battle and
Wow.
destroy him.
Yeah. He should go down.
He should go down.
I wouldn't have moved.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
You know what would have gotten him to move, Jevon, is if you would have reached over and touched his leg.
I know,
What do you mean, sweetheart?
I know. I'm just like, shh, and touch his lips. Shh. But
I think A
that's
Course in
crazy.
Miracles says that under his teaching, all relationships become a lesson in love.
Mhm.
So everybody's the teacher instead of all the other labels that we put on people. If we just look at people and say teacher, 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 we can reorientate our mind and our experience of them. Just a
Mhm.
teacher.
Yep, he certainly was. Because I wasn't seeing him, I was seeing my judgments of what should have been.
Yeah.
I was projecting out and projecting out my own well, ultimately I was projecting out my own guilt, and then that comes out in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah. So also here is the problem with having an agenda. When we have an agenda, I mean, the ego wants what it wants instead of being open and fluid to what is wanted. So What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? And to whom? And if that is our guidepost for the day, start that every morning that way. And that becomes our awareness, is that we're listening for where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Instead of, I have this agenda that I want to get this accomplished. I want to move in this direction. I want to have these things.
Mhm.
That's where we get into more trouble with suffering.
Yeah. Well, and when I take my own agenda, which is what I love to do, it's a cascading effect, because I was having a really bad day that day. I was just super distraught over my business thing not looking the way I wanted it to look, and that created this other thing that created this other thing that created me in the sauna that wanted to beat up a kid. And it's really easy it's interesting to see it like this kind of cascade of events, all from these different levels of attachment, all these things that I wanted to happen that weren't happening, that kind of built on themselves. And then it became so clear that the disrespectful infidel needed to be destroyed. It was so clear when I'm in that fully projected state, right? That is completely detached and attached to the outcomes that I created.
Yeah.
The world that I created, or the world that the Holy Spirit sees.
Yeah.
It's my choice.
Fully sucked into the story.
I'm
Fully sucked into the movie.
I'm fully sucked into the horror movie.
Yeah, bro.
And who was I a traitor to? Well, I was really a traitor to myself, because I was the one who suffered.
Exactly.
Bro. And you know what's really funny is I've been calling my kids bro lately when they do something bad.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, actually. I was thinking of that kid. They would do something and I'd be like, bro, hey, bro.
I see a lot of girls call each other bro too. Yeah.
Which it's funny because I guess I use bro when bro and bud in my mind, they're kind of disrespectful. And someone calls me bro or bud, I'm like kind of semi-seething, going on battle mode a little bit. I'm like, bro, bud, huh? How about I cut your head off?
Well, that 3 under stress moves to homicidal rage,
Oh, yes. Okay. I feel it.
There it is.
Hi, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, I think my kids call me bro all the time. Bro, that's sus. I don't even understand their term. Like, they have a completely different language. Well, I'm sure, Jevon, you can relate to that. You're like, what is the new term for this week? What's this? What's that? I'm like, and Britain's always like, bro, 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 bro. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Special.
It is special. Wonderful. Good for them. Good for me. It's all good for me.
It's all for you.
All for me. It's all
For you, bro.
I'm so lucky. Love you, bro. All right. 5, I think.
Oh, 5.
An enemy is the symbol of an imprisoned Christ. And who could he be except yourself? The prayer for enemies thus becomes a prayer for your own freedom. Now it is no longer a contradiction in terms. It has become a statement of the unity of Christ and a recognition of his sinlessness. And now it has become holy, for it acknowledges the Son of God as he was created.
Ooh. My enemy, my punk kid, was the symbol of my own imprisoned Christ.
And there was a lesson before, right? That was about how attack thoughts are only attacking yourself. Like you're making yourself vulnerable. You're like viewing yourself as being vulnerable to.
Mhm. Yeah, I see it like the only thing that I can give or see has to come through my experience. So if I see an enemy, that idea or that judgment of the enemy has to come through this thing called me in order to project it onto you. So I have to have the enemy experienced in order for you to be an enemy. And then I get to have the friend experience for you to be a friend. Either way, I get it. It's for me because it has to come through me, my experience. And how do you become an enemy or a friend? Well, it's through my own judgments. So
That's right.
either way, it comes through me. It's for me first. There is no outside of me that happens that is independent of me. It doesn't exist. And in that way, that's why the decision maker either chooses the world of forgiveness and love or sin, guilt, shame. They're both made up. That neither one of them are the real world. But the Holy Spirit's, the Christ vision, is a happy world. It's a friendly world. It's a world that we're all going to be taken care of. And the other world is the world of separation where I have to achieve, but it's from projecting my own guilt outward. And it's homicidal rage, among other things.
And even if somebody is objectively attacking you, someone is objectively disrespecting you or somebody else or whoever it is, we can choose to view that person, or we can choose to view ourselves as somebody that can be attacked, or we can view that person as just doing the best they can.
Mhm.
And nothing they do can hurt us. And so we can choose forgiveness.
Yeah, in that way,
I like the way you said that. Forgiveness.
yeah.
Very good.
By that definition, forgiveness is removing your judgment. You're not saying what they're doing is good or bad, because the good or bad has to have some judgment behind it and
Right.
definition of what the good or bad is. But forgiveness in this context is it doesn't have any meaning at all. There's no meaning. They're just doing this thing, and yeah, they're doing the best they can, and you're doing the best you can, and I'm okay. I'm complete.
Yeah.
I'm not my body. I'm not my personality. It's in me. I get to experience it. Like, wow, what a crazy experience. But neither one of them are me, because I am whole, complete with the Father. And that's what atonement is. In the Course, atonement is it's already done. I'm already complete. I'm already free. And if that's true, you have to step back a bit, because it doesn't make sense in the personality world.
But also, Sue, there's if you perceive that someone is disrespecting you, you've decided that it means that. And what they're doing is they're projecting their unconscious guilt onto you. And you can see it as one way to frame that is, oh, how am I projecting my unconscious guilt on others? This person, whatever they're saying or doing in your presence or not in your presence about you, or they're talking about you, is never about you. It's always only ever about them. Just like whatever you're doing is always about you. It's always you projecting love or projecting fear on another. It's your own. So when you can make that separation, no one can offend you. No one. Because you know that it's just their unconscious guilt. It's a state of ignorance and blindness. And there's even an innocence in it, because they can't do anything any differently than what they're doing and the way that they're doing it. So when you can step back, like Jevon said, there has to be a moment of separation to see that clearly. And then if the opportunity presents as a lesson, as a teacher for you, then you can reflect on, when was the last time I projected my unconscious guilt on myself or on others, which is ultimately the same thing. But did you project it outwardly or inwardly? When you hear, oh, they're disrespecting me, you can turn that inward. Where do I disrespect myself? How do I disrespect myself? In what ways? And why would I disrespect myself? And if you find that, you'll find it's because you believe yourself to be separate from God and guilty.
Shit.
Uh-oh. Did I offend you, Jevon?
No, right? That was just a
Right
strong
here.
reaction.
Shit.
It goes back to the guilt. You know, it's phenomenal to me how it goes back to the guilt, that darkness.
Yeah.
I love the Enneagram. It's such a great model too, because that darkness that the Enneagram talks about, that the temperaments are formed to avoid at all costs. It's that underlying guilt.
Yeah.
And my whole day, my whole really bad day, revolved around, I can't accomplish these things. I can't keep doing this. And if I keep doing it like this, it's unsustainable. So I'm projecting out even further, like this horrible, difficult time that barely trickles in what I want, which is, unreasonable, by the way. Carolyn thinks I'm absolutely crazy. But
She's right.
of course.
Have her call me.
Of course she's right. But it's like, I can't do it. I can't, it's just too, but why do I need that? Well, I need it to accomplish, to be worthy of love, because I know I'm unworthy of love, darkness, guilt, the guilt of being unworthy because, I did something bad. I'm not worthy of, I received something I wasn't worthy of. There's a good one. Like I took people's love and I wasn't worthy of it. They're tricked, they're deceived. I don't want them to find out. Or something to that. Like, oh my gosh. They can't find out that I'm actually a poser. I'm a pretender.
That ego, man.
Yeah.
It's running quite a racket over
Now,
there.
someone with a big ego like myself, and that really likes to be looked well upon, like myself, like even saying those kind of things is, you can never say those kind of things. That's like letting the secret out of the bag.
Oh, and yet here we are.
Don't tell anybody.
I'm telling everybody. I'm putting it on Facebook, social media. Let's get it out there. Let's strip you naked, put you in front of the camera. Let's do it.
But it's that hiding game and the performing game and the pretending game and then the projecting game that creates every single one of my problems, our problems, and our suffering, all of our suffering. And so that's why everyone's our friend, because underneath the game is just this other thing that's exactly like me, and so much exactly like me that there's no real difference at all.
Yeah.
There is no difference. We're the same. We're made of the same stuff. Even the bro in the sauna.
Yeah, even bro. Exactly.
Well, I trust that this season will not only expose all of the ego, but expose it as the lie that it is, the illusion, the great illusion that it is. And it gets nailed to a cross.
But I don't know if I want that boring of a life. So boring. So
Oh,
peaceful.
it's not boring. It's certainly not boring. It's pretty exciting to be in the director's chair or in the writer's chair. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
1d6.
Sure.
Yeah. Let it never be forgotten that prayer at any level is always for yourself. If you unite with anyone in prayer, you make him part of you. The enemy is you, as is the Christ. Before it can become holy, then, Prayer becomes a choice. You do not choose for another. You can but choose for yourself. Pray truly for your enemies, for herein lies your own salvation. Forgive them for your sins, and you will be forgiven indeed.
So we're not forgiving our enemies for being bad. We're forgiving our enemies to let go of my judgment so I can have a different experience. It's all for me.
We knew that.
Thank you for being a part of my experience.
You are the center of our universe too, honey. Yeah.
Which is wonderful. Gosh, bro, I love you.
Prayer is a ladder reaching up to heaven. At the top, there is a transformation much like your own, for prayer is part of you. The things of earth are left behind, all unremembered. There is no asking, there is no lack. Identity in Christ is fully recognized as set forever, beyond all change and incorruptible. The light no longer flickers and will never go out. Now, without needs of any kind, and clad forever in the pure sinlessness that is the gift of God to you, his Son, prayer can again become what it was meant to be. For now it rises as a song of thanks to your Creator, sung without words, or thoughts, or vain desires, unneedful now of anything at all. So it extends as it was meant to, and for this, giving God himself gives thanks.
This it's have you guys ever read the Surrender Experiment?
Yeah.
Have you read that, Sue?
I don't know. What
What's
is
that
that?
guy's name? Denise, do you remember?
By Michael Singer.
Yeah, Mickey
Mhm.
Singer. Wow. He wrote The Untethered Soul as well. That's a more popular
Mhm.
book.
Mm-hmm.
I know I listened to one of his books on audio when I was driving up to Northern Cal, but yeah, what's the Surrender Experiment?
Well, the premise is everything was for him, and so he would just surrender to whatever it was. And anybody that asked him anything, he always just said yes.
Well,
And-
he actually made a commitment, a promise
Okay.
that he would say yes to whatever was asked of him, because he wanted to see what life, if he just let God govern his life, what life would, how it would unfold, what it would have for him. So his commitment was for 10 years. He would say yes, no matter what the request was.
Yeah.
And he ended up doing the experiment for 40 years before he wrote the book.
So the base though, where he started was living in his van on a plot of land away from anybody, because he had by choice. He got away. He was an adjunct professor. I think that's how you say that. He was, or a student professor or something, like he was still in graduate school of some sort. And he's like, I don't even know if I want to do this. I can't handle it. He's meditated a lot, had some wonderful experiences. He's just like, I want out. I want out. God, you know, I only want you. I don't want any of these ridiculous people. They're bothering me way too much. And so then he makes this commitment in his van away from everybody. And just like slowly after he did, people started showing up like, hey, because he was also doing these lectures that he had to do for school. So he would have to go back into town and show up. But people show up for land and be like, hey, can I camp with you? You're just so peaceful. And he was like inside, no. But he would be like, sure.
So he ended up being the founder of WebMD. He wrote the very first medical invoicing, computer medical invoicing. He's brilliant. He built 3 or 4 companies. He's a billionaire now. He never wanted the money. He never wanted money. Somebody wanted to build a temple on his property, and he said, I just don't want anything to do with it. And whatever money comes in goes to the community. So people would just come to him and say, would you help me with this? Would you build that? Would you blah, blah, blah? And so true to human design, he was a responder, a sacral, open sacral responder. And what that means is that you wait for the invitation and then you respond to the invitation. Are you a responder, Sue?
I don't know if I'm a
Oh.
responder, but I do have open sacral.
That's a responder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it called something else in some?
Well, you can be a generator, a manifesting generator, a projector.
Projector.
You're a projector,
Yeah, but I'm a
but you can so you can be a projector with an open sacral.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Geeking out a little bit. You smarties.
Geeking. Anyway, what was the point of your bringing him up, Jevon? About just saying yes?
The point of is saying yes, because so much of my problem, the reason that I would ever have an enemy, and that the reason why I would ever be able to be a traitor is an attachment to something else.
Right.
The reason I want to be attached is because I know a better way. I know my own best interests.
Isn't that funny?
And
The big cosmic joke.
Yeah. And the result of my own knowing my own best interests and fighting for them at all costs is beating up a young boy in a sauna and possibly going to jail. Right. Or getting beat up by a young boy in a sauna and never telling anybody. Whatever would have happened is the final result. That, of course, is unpreferable. And then we got the story of Michael Singer, this untethered soul, untethered, right? He's released the tether. What's the tether? Well, the tether is my judgment. It's tying it down. It's the ties on the Goodyear blimp, and they don't push the Goodyear blimp up into the sky. They just release the ties, and it's natural buoyancy of this natural lift takes it up. And so what is keeping me down in this terrestrial battle that I'm in, it's my own ties, which are my own judgments. And so what would it be like? Well, I think it would be kind of like Michael Singer if I were to really let loose my judgment. But it's terrifying. I think my judgments are protecting me and protecting the people that I'm supposed to protect, which is another judgment. Yeah. I'm supposed to be doing this and that. It's supposed to look this way. And if it doesn't, then I freak out. But what if, as life shows up the way I don't expect, what if it's a preparation for what I've never had? Wouldn't that make sense? And could I still keep an open heart? You know, it's Sue's stupid face girl showing up and messing up something, and my kids and my the guy in the sauna, or my business not working out right, or whatever it is that's really bothering us. Could it be helpful?
Seems reasonable. So also with this goes right back to the very first 5 workbook pages about I do not know my own best interest. I do not know what this means. I do not know what anything means. And so when we think we know, I know how it should go. I know what I want. I know what I need. We get into so much trouble. And there's such a stark contrast here between the way that we are conditioned to be in the world or in the matrix and the way of spirituality, of a true spiritual life, which is really what Michael Singer demonstrated. And what I loved about his story is that every time he said yes, when he really wanted to say no, fuck you, get off my property, he really wanted to do that. What transpired, what got created as a result of him saying yes when he wanted to say no, was so big and so beautiful, and he loved it. but he never knew he was going to love that. It never entered into his imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So the scripture says, my ways are not your ways. As far as the heavens are from the earth, so my ways from your ways. So if we understand that we've been trained and conditioned in the language of the ego and the understanding of the ego, and it is contrary and contradictory to the ways of the spirit, and we have to unlearn and unwind all of the ways that we've been conditioned in order to have this beautiful spiritual magical experience on this other side, out of the matrix. It's the red pill that we get to take. So, and there needs to be a lot of grace in that. I am not linguistic. I barely know English. The only reason I passed in the English class in any grade is because my teachers didn't want me in their class again. So to learn another language is how I apply this. If I had to learn another language, it would be so challenging for my brain to wrap my mind around that. Well, that's the same thing as learning the language of spirituality, the spiritual way of living. It's challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm certainly willing, and that is what we're invited to bring in A Course in Miracles, is if we will just bring our tiny willingness, the Holy Spirit will move in that direction on our behalf.
Yeah. Amen. I'm willing for now.
Yeah. All right. Today. That's all. Isn't what God can do with a tiny bit of willingness, which is what the reflection or the lesson in the boy who brought his fish and loaf of bread to 5,000 people. It was the willingness that fed the 5,000 or however many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's this old Christian song that I loved. It's called "Thank You for Giving to the Lord." Thank you for giving to the Lord. You have a life that was changed. I don't know if you ever heard that song.
I haven't.
One by one they came, far as the eye could see. Anyway, so it was this. Each one somehow touched by your generosity. So it's about this guy or a person, I don't remember it, that lived a life and kind of an obscure life, doing the best they could. They thought they were a failure, and they got to heaven, and they're like, basically, the angels are like, "No, you were like a crazy success. Oh my gosh, that was incredible!" And like one by one, that showed all these things in their life was the beauty that came from it. And the person had no idea, and how their life was integral in everyone around them when they thought that they were detached and it didn't matter. It was a well-intentioned life. Their whole life was well-intentioned, but it didn't turn into Michael Singer, billion-dollar company, worship center, all these external things. It turned into what they thought was nothing, but it actually was incredible. It was like this. The song portrays it like, wow, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, the hero's home, kind of like that, which I'll admit does play into a bit of ego as well. But the point is, it's like it's hard to judge success, even well-intended behavior, while going through the filter of the ego, because even my whole life I've been well-intended. I think well-intentioned is, I got that down. But it's just the physical results that have been mostly challenging, where I judge the shit out of these physical results. And if I could let that loose, and when I do, when I do, I have amazing moments of complete contentment and peace and love, and showing up for others and myself and my family in beautiful ways. And when I don't, it's almost instant constraint and suffering, at least internally. So keeping everything loosely held, I should say, like everything comes in and out, and I never grip it. It comes into my life and it can go out, and there's no grip, there's no like attachment to anything.
Yeah.
Stay or attachment to things I need to get. And so when I keep my life open with open hands, it's a lovely life. It's really lovely, and I don't even know what's good or bad, to be honest. Like you mentioned, I don't know my own best interests. I'm very aware of that. Cognitively, I'm aware of that, even though I'm striving like a crazy person.
Well, you'll keep doing that until you get tired enough to drop it.
I know. I tell myself I'm tired of it, then I go into like auto behavior.
Yeah. Is that true? Am I really tired of it?
Well,
No, when you're tired of it, you'll know. You'll walk away. You'll know. There'll be no turning back. It's, like the addict who once they're done, they're done. They're just done.
Thank you for giving to the Lord. I'm gonna
I
find
want to
that.
borrow that Amy Grant tape you got there.
It's totally Amy Grant era. Yeah, that's it. All right, should we finish up the
You should
chapter?
finish the paragraph, or
do it.
finish the chapter. God is the goal of every prayer, giving it timelessness instead of end, nor has it a beginning, because the goal has never changed. Prayer in its earlier form is an illusion, because there is no need or a ladder there is no need for a ladder to reach what one has never left. Yet prayer is part of forgiveness, as long as forgiveness itself, an illusion, remains unattained. Prayer is tied up with learning until the goal of learning has been reached. And then all things will be transformed together and returned unblemished to the mind of God. Being beyond learning, this state cannot be described. The stages necessary to its attainment, however, need to be understood if peace is to be restored to God's Son, who lives now with the illusion of death and the fear of God.
Mm.
Beautiful.
There's no need for a ladder to reach what one has never left.
We just forgotten where the ladder is and where it goes. That's all.
Yeah.
Or you're on the ladder, like, where's the ladder?
Right.
Kind of like when we have our glasses on our head. Where are my glasses?
Yeah.
My keys are in my hand.
Well, all of the spiritual practices are a ladder of some sort, and so it's not about having the right practice. It's about realizing that there is no ladder. All of the practices are trying to get us to where we already are.
Mm-hmm.
And so every attempt to get where we already are is an experience of moving away from where you already are. That's the tricky part.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a whole life of fire and brimstone. My mom and her mom say you got a black mark on your soul if you tell a lie, and you're gonna go straight to hell if you don't go to confession and get that black mark removed off your soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was raised.
Familiar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A Catholic fire and brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together, Brian.
Exactly.
Bro.
Just a bad kid. I had a bad self-image of myself for a long time. I was always the quietest kid in school because I was afraid to say anything. Just everybody, you're a nice guy, but you don't talk enough.
Don't want to get found out.
Dad, I want to get, like my mom, every time I said something, I just get,
Yeah.
And do you feel like you've broken away from that?
Oh, That's Giovanni. Most definitely. You can't shut me up now.
Well, I don't know.
I'm
You're pretty damn quiet on this call.
well, I believe there's a lot to be learned. So you guys know a lot, so I like to listen. But yeah, if you let me go, I'll talk for hours. You know, and it's one of those things where I think there's a lot of value in in what I've learned and stuff. I still have effects of that sometimes. I still feel inferior in certain ways, or kind of like like Jevon says, you're kind of just like you're a poser, or one of those things. It's kind of certain things trigger those feelings. I think in me, because
Well,
it's so long.
I'm sorry. The part of you that believes that it's performing and it's a poser and it's a fraud that's the voice of the ego. It is. So you can agree with it. Yeah, you are. And your higher self is none of that.
Mhm.
You just start to recognize the voice that's speaking. That's what happened with the untethered soul with Michael Singer. He heard this other voice, this voice in his head. And he's like, who is that talking?
Mhm.
So when you recognize it's the ego, you can just go turn away from it. Don't
Yeah.
listen. Muji says, think of your thoughts are like being in a marketplace where people are trying to sell you things, and you need to run through the marketplace like you have diarrhea. Don't buy anything.
Vivid description.
But
Yeah.
if any of those people get in front of you in your way, you still can't like make it an enemy.
No, but
You still have to be loving, and then you also have to hold in
Yeah.
and try to get out of there.
Yes.
It's crazy to think that none of those thoughts are my thoughts. It's so easy to think that they're my thoughts. And you can trust them because they're your thoughts.
There's a joke. No. And they can be part of the collective thoughts. So we're picking up on the collective thoughts of where we live, of the community, of just the area.
Mhm.
Which is one of the nice things about where Joe and I live, is it's so dense or so sparsely populated that there really isn't a density of collective thoughts here.
Mhm.
So people feel that when they come out here.
Yeah.
They're like, why does this feel so peaceful? Well, because you're not in just a barrage of negative energy.
Yeah, it feels
Even
wonderful.
for me, getting down to Orange County and like not living in a box makes such a big difference.
I got my tinfoil hat right here. I put my tinfoil hat on, so it
Yeah.
repels all those. Like the tinfoil on my windows too.
Nice.
Yeah, Sue's gonna get to experience it, but that's definitely my experience of going out there to the Love Ranch. It feels very peaceful.
Yeah.
What if I don't want to leave?
Well, we have made arrangements for people to stay longer.
I know
We had the longest person that stayed here was a year.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And he was out here for 6 months before his wife came out. And then his wife came out and they were here together for 6 months. And
Wow.
then they moved to Vegas to expand an amazing company that they created while they were here.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool.
So it happens.
Mm.
It happens.
I just got back from Vegas. That's where I was last week.
Well, for business or pleasure?
For pleasure. I was visiting some friends out there, and We did a timeshare presentation, got free Vegas show tickets and all that. Met some really interesting
yeah.
people. Yeah, a lot of people moving to Vegas right now. So I'm looking to probably move, get my real estate license and do business here and in there at Nevada as well. So
And are you in Orange County?
yeah, Orange County,
Okay.
Huntington Beach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a lot less expensive to live in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a huge disparity between people that have like $1 million house and people that are on, that are poverty level. They're
Yeah.
basically living off food stamps.
Yeah.
50% of the kids over there in the school district near Vegas are homeless. It's like
Wow.
it's incredible. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that high.
Wow.
50%.
50% of those kids, elementary school kids, are
Holy
homeless.
cow.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. It's like one side of the street you got people living in $1 million, $2 million houses, and the other side of the street people are living in their car or the hotel or whatever it is they can find shelter in.
Wow.
That's wild.
I know their property values change very drastically depending on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but they're the metropolitan area. It's really crazy right there, and people are getting laid off left and right because it's a seasonal thing. Because when I went to go visit the last time, it just after the summertime, and they laid off 1,000 people that week just because they didn't need those seasonal employees anymore.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's really really crazy. People trying to find work and stay employed. They get 2-3 jobs.
Well, Brian, the next time you go to Vegas, if you want to come out here spend a little bit of time with us, we're 2 hours southeast of Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. Would be really interesting. Yes.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful drive. Not like driving to LA. It's actually a gorgeous drive.
You feel the difference driving back into town. I was like, all the traffic and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting surrounded by people coming back in here. It's like, yeah.
Okay, we did it.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Yay, happy to be with all you guys this morning.
Likewise.
Bless.
Yeah, great way to start the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finals week. Yay.
Finals.
Oh, finals, all right. Go kill them. Go crush those finals.
Thank you.
Well, kids
Bye,
go back
guys.
to school today.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.